If thine is the glory, then mine must be the shame. You want darker. We kill the flame.
Close your eyes. Picture a forest. There's a clearing ahead. And in the middle of the clearing is a small hillock with a small steel door. Two young boys are running towards the door, the second desperately trying to catch the first.
Stop! Wait!
Close your eyes. Picture a large concrete room underground. Piles of boxes on the floor. A door at the back of the room and a ladder leading out. Two boys are sleeping in beds, and a third young man is climbing down the ladder with a flashlight in his mouth. This is Timothy. He finds a laptop on a table, logs in, and starts to work quickly. The beam plays over the other two sleeping boys, one cradling a small stuffed kangaroo. The boys are starting to wake up. Timothy quickly hides the laptop in a box labeled blankets. He gets into the third bed and pretends to be asleep. As the boys wake up, open your eyes. Welcome to Creche.
Where am I?
Don't know. Who are you?
Mom! Dad! Where is everyone?
No idea. I'm Bob. What's your name?
I'm Peter. Peter Epulone. Mom! Mom, Dad, where are you?
It doesn't look like there's anyone else here but us. I'm Timothy.
Bob. I guess this is Peter.
There's nobody else here.
Any idea where we are?
It's just us!
In Piglet over there. It looks like some kind of shelter. And not very organized. Looks like whoever was here before had to leave in a hurry.
No, there's nobody else here. We're on our own.
Look around. 3 of us. 3 chairs, 3 lockers, 3 camp beds. Seems pretty clear that it's just the 3 of us.
So how do we get out of here?
I don't know any more than you do.
Well, it looks like the ladder. That's how we got in.
Great, let's get out.
Hang on a minute, not so fast. We don't know what's outside.
What do you mean, what's outside? What could be outside? The outside is outside.
I'm not sure, but look at the sign.
Warning. Do not exit shelter until lockdown phase complete. What is a lockdown phase?
Don't know. One thing's certain. Whoever painted that sign wanted to make darn sure we'd notice it and pay attention, so, like I said, hang on a minute. So what do you think?
Makes sense. For starters, we don't know where we are. This could be anywhere.
We could find out by looking outside.
Second, like he says, we don't know what's outside.
I don't care. I don't want to stay here without my family.
And third, we don't know how long we were asleep.
What do you mean, how long?
Well, clean shave, so haven't been here that long.
Well, that's... what's the last thing you remember before waking up here?
I went to bed and I woke up here.
Do you usually sleep in your clothes?
Of course not.
So you were at home in your PJs and now you're here. And you?
Sitting on the porch drinking a nice tea. Next thing I know, I'm here. Same clothes, though.
Pretty much the same for me. Watching a movie with my dad and no memory till I wake up here.
And your point?
And I don't know about you, but I feel kind of stoned. Like, I can't really wake up. Anyone else feel the same?
Maybe a bit.
So we were with our families, and the next thing is we wake up here. Even you with the pig tucked in with you. I'm not teasing you. This is my point. Someone, likely our families, went to great lengths to organize this. They must have put us here for a reason.
What do you mean, put us here?
Well, we were all with our families before waking up, and we didn't come here on our own, so somebody had to put us here, and put up that big sign out over there. So who else could it be? I don't know what that reason is, but I want to think for a minute before I rush out.
You reached all these conclusions just by waking up and looking around. It's pretty quick thinking.
Not really. I was just looking around. Do you have any better ideas?
So why would our parents do that?
I don't know yet.
We don't know if this is our parents. It could be anyone. The answer might be in one of these boxes over here, or maybe a message somewhere.
Either way, someone has gone to a lot of effort to set this up. Put up a big sign so that we don't miss it, and I, for one, want to know why before I do anything.
What if we've been kidnapped? I heard about people being kidnapped and buried until their family paid a ransom. My family's rich. How about you two?
Yeah, we're rich. My dad has gone public saying that he'd never pay a ransom or take out ransom insurance.
Why not?
He said it just opens the door for kidnappers. He said if they know that they won't get anything, then they won't be tempted.
Even for his son?
Oh, especially for his son. He felt that was the best protection he could give me. We had security and all that, but why kidnap me if they can't get anything?
His own son, wow.
Well, he sure as heck isn't going to pay for a stranger. Why put the three of us together? Was there a group rate for kidnapping?
Anyhow, if we were kidnapped, I would expect us to be restrained somehow. Also, this is a pretty elaborate setup for a kidnapping.
Oh, looks like there's a generator, a bathroom, some big water tanks back there. This place has supplies for a while.
There's a kitchen back there and some freezers full of food. There's even ice cream. Butterscotch Ripple is my favorite flavor. Butterscotch Ripple. How could they know?
You know, you may be right. Butterscotch Ripple sounds like this is something a parent might do.
So how? Maybe our parents did put us here. But why aren't they with us? Where are they?
Hey, I woke up here just like you. I don't know the answers to any of those questions.
We'll figure it out. There might be a clue somewhere. Let's look through these boxes.
Oh, this one has first aid supplies.
Cleaning supplies here.
Oh, how? And there's a bit of everything, isn't there?
Maybe this was set up in a rush. That would explain the jumble of boxes.
You really got an explanation and a theory for everything, don't you?
I'm just trying to figure things out.
While the boys are going through the boxes, let us imagine another place. There's a windowless room in the middle of which there is a large sealed chamber with portals. We see a man loading boxes into the chamber and then sealing himself in, spinning the handle on the airlock. Back to the boys.
This box has an axe in it. Why on earth would we need an axe?
That's not an axe, it's a hatchet. Oh, wait a minute. That's not just any hatchet, that's part of the survival kit, complete with water purifying tablets, personal pens,
I know all
foul.
this.
Because it's my father's company that manufactures it for the Army. You see that? It's the company logo.
Burroughs Manufacturing Incorporated. Hey, cool! Your dad worked with my dad. Did you know the name First Continental Bank? That's my dad. And sometimes he would talk business with his friends. He mentioned Burroughs.
So we have Peter's ice cream and his father's bank, and your father's survival gear. Looks like this place was made for us. Still think my theory is far-fetched?
No. But by the idea that our parents put us here, I just don't get it. I mean, why aren't they here too? I can guarantee you, if my dad built a lifeboat, he'd make sure he had a seat on it.
What do you mean lifeboat?
We're underground in what looks like a bomb shelter. Freezers full of food, unpacking boxes of survival gear with instructions not to leave. Looks like a lifeboat to me.
But why? What's happening outside?
No idea. What do your parents do?
My father was a virologist and my mother was a lab tech.
Or what do you mean was?
Sorry?
You said was, past tense. Why past tense?
My mother died a few years back and my dad was fired a year ago. That's why the past tense.
Oh. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, thanks. It was a while back.
My mother is a UNICEF ambassador. She travels all over the world wherever there are kids and problems. It's a volunteer thing, but she's pretty proud of it.
Uh-huh.
So it looks like we're stuck here until we figure this out. The answer might still be in one of these boxes, but whether it is or not, we should get organized. Why don't we start unpacking them, see what we find? If nothing else, this place is a mess, and if we're going to be here for a while, we should make some order. Canned goods, food supplies can go over there by the kitchen. I'm sure we're going to find more hardware like a hatchet and clothing, so that stuff can go over here. Small items should stay in their boxes. Maybe we find a Sharpie and label them. We can collapse the big boxes, put them back by the generator.
Hang on. Who put you in charge?
Like you said earlier, anybody got any better ideas? No? Alright, why don't we get to it?
Hey! There's a box here full of DVDs! Actually, there are 3 boxes full of DVDs and a DVD
What
player.
kind of movies?
A bit of everything. Some classics like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Star Wars, some cooking DVDs.
Guys, can we go through the DVDs later? Right now, let's just see what we have overall.
Hey, boss man, mellow out and cut us some slack, okay?
No, it's okay. He's right.
He is an asshole, that's what he is. Who the fuck do you think you are, anyway?
Are you nuts? Have you looked around you? We are in a box underground. We have no idea what's going on outside or how long we need to be here. We don't know how many supplies we have. We don't know where this box is, and we don't know each other. Am I missing anything? No. Survival studies show panic is the most common cause of death when facing unknown or potentially dangerous
What
situations.
kind of shit is this? Survival studies? What the fuck are survival studies?
Language. My father was a Marine. He always said the first thing to do in a crisis is take your own pulse. It's pretty safe to say that we need to get organized sooner than later. At some point we're going to want to eat. Anyone found any cooking utensils, even a can opener?
Oh, there's a box here full of pots and pans.
I have now.
Smart ass. Alright, can you put them in the back room with the field kitchen? And sorry if I snapped at you about the DVDs.
Sure, no problem. I get it. Don't worry about it. My mom always says that I get distracted by shiny objects. Hey! There are boxes here with our names on them!
What?
Where?
Here, look! One box labeled Pierre Epulon. Another is Robert Justin Burroughs. Your middle name is Justin? And Timothy Bergman. See? There's a letter here from my mom and dad. Maybe it says where we are. And hey, there's a picture. And an MP3 player. And a letter.
Yeah, got a letter and a picture too.
Bob reaches into the box and retrieves a gun and some bullets. He contemplates them and puts them back in the box, locks the box in his locker, and puts the key on the chain around his neck. Timothy, with his back to the other boys, pulls a picture of his backpack and puts it in a frame covering the pictures from the box before anyone puts it on display. He opens the letter in his box and reads silently.
Dear Petey, things have moved faster than we expected.
And this is not how we wanted it to be. When you find this note, you'll have woken up in the shelter with 2 other boys. You won't know them, but we know their parents, and we hope you'll get along.
We designed these shelters with a family of 3 in mind. They're fully supplied for 100 days.
After which it should be safe to go outside. Until then, the door needs to stay locked. The shelter is in a somewhat isolated area, but nonetheless, you need to avoid doing anything that could draw attention from people outside.
The plan was for each of our families to have their own shelter, and we were hoping to be together. Sadly, that's not how it worked out. As we write these words, only one of our 3 shelters is ready. We may still get the other ones ready in time, and if we do, we will contact you by radio. But in case not, the 3 families decided that at least our son should survive.
The shelters are supposed to be secure, but given enough force, any door can be broken, any wall can be breached. So keep the door shut and keep your profile low.
Peter, sweetheart, we hope that you and the other boys will be friends. You are our beautiful child. Know that come what may, we will always love you and be proud of you, Mom and Dad.
The shelter manual has all the operational information you will need, including a list of the planned shelters in the network. In one of the boxes, you will find a radio that we will use to contact you should we survive. You can listen all you want, but do not broadcast or try to contact us for at least 30 days. And remember, the door stays shut for 100 days. Son, your mother and I wish you well and hope we meet again. Sincerely yours, Father.
Why do we have to stay here? Why can't we go out?
What is going on out there? Did your letter tell you what's going on?
Just that we have to stay in with the door sealed for 100 days and avoid any contact with people outside for the first 30 days.
Do you think that they are able to get another shelter ready in time?
How should I know? Sorry, I didn't mean to snap at
I
you.
don't even know if there are any other shelters nearby.
There have to be other shelters.
Cast your mind to the other place, the sealed chamber in the windowless room. The man in that room is also unpacking his boxes. He takes out a picture and puts it on the table. It is the same picture that Timothy put up in his frame.
Who knows? All we know is that we are here. Anyhow, it's not like we can do anything about it.
We'll find the radio, and then we'll see if we can't contact somebody.
Radio? What radio?
Apparently there's one here in one of these boxes.
Well, let's find it now. Well, maybe they're trying to reach us.
It can be in any of these boxes. We might be hours searching, so if we keep going through them systematically, we'll find it.
Well, that could be days.
I know, but it's not like we're leaving, and like Tim says...
Timothy.
Like Timothy says, we're supposed to broadcast for 30 days, so having the radio won't change anything right now. If it is here, we'll find it, but it could be anywhere. There's tons of stuff, tons of things to do while we're looking.
Okay. Guess.
Look, we've been at this for a while. There's a table and chairs here. How about we set them up, take a break, get some food?
Anyone find any plates and cutlery?
Plates and stuff or with the pots and pans. I put them on the shelves in the back room.
Okay, great. Can you grab some? And more important, does anybody know how to cook?
I can fry some eggs and I can follow a recipe.
Okay, so you and me can take turns doing the cooking.
Hey, I'm not a baby. I can cook and I can bake. Probably better than the two of you my chef taught me.
Okay, no one said that you were a
You're a chef?
Yeah, Chef Mark. My dad hired him in Paris to cook for us and teach us.
What kind of a kid is a personal chef?
All right, then. How about we start a rotation? One guy sets up, one guy cooks, one guy cleans. Is that okay with everyone?
Okay.
Okay for now.
After we set up for dinner, we can look through some more of these boxes.
What kind of kid has his own personal...
I don't know. He's a bit young, you know. He said his mother told him that he was distracted by shiny objects. Maybe he's got a bit of ADHD.
Dinner is served. I didn't have much time to get through everything back there, but I just made us a quick cheese omelet.
Smells great.
Wow, this is amazing.
Well, Mark always said that you have to salt your eggs and let them sit for a while. Makes a world of a difference, he would say. How did your mother die?
She got cancer.
Oh. Did it hurt?
Hurt? Her or me? What kind of question is that?
Sorry. Mom always says I should be more mindful of how people feel. I'm not really good at that. She says I should work on my social skills. That's why they pulled me out of school and I got a tutor. I was being bullied.
It's okay. She was working in a laboratory and the fume hoods were defective. Over time, she was exposed to more and more stuff, and she kept getting sicker and sicker till they finally found the cancer. By then, it was too late.
That's sad.
I said it was a long time ago. And it wasn't fair, and it wasn't right, but as much as we tried, there was nothing we could do about it.
Did she love what she did? The lab work, I mean.
She did. That's where she met my dad. He was a visiting scientist. She used to joke that he would dream up the experiments, but she would have to make them happen, like he was a typical male. It became a lot less funny when she got sick. Anyhow, I don't want to talk about it.
Oh. Sorry.
What was that you were humming in the kitchen?
Oh. Ragtime.
What?
Ragtime. My parents love musical theater.
Really?
Really. We saw a play or a musical almost every month at least.
Did you take your chef?
I still remember when they took me to see Ragtime. In 1902, Father built a house at the crest of Broadview Hill in New Rochelle, New York.
Hey, Scott Fitzgerald, enough already.
Sorry. Didn't mean to upset you. My mom used to say there are two kinds of people. Those who love musical theater and those who have never seen musical theater. Which one are you?
I'm more of a TV guy.
Then she'd also say that I would need to introduce you to it. And by the way, it's Joplin, not Fitzgerald.
What? Who?
It's Scott Joplin, not Scott Fitzgerald.
Look, we're going to be here for 4 months. Why don't we just try to stay off each other's nerves, okay?
Like my mom says, might as well be social, so...
My mom says this and my mom says that.
Maybe you should just lay off the kid.
Whatever. Now what?
Well, still a lot to unpack, unless people are tired.
I wonder if there are any other boxes from our parents.
Don't know. Only one way to find out.
Well, let's unpack some before we go to bed. What time is it anyway?
I've got 7:30.
AM or PM?
No, I have no idea. Either way, let's see what else is in these boxes. My dad's notes that there was a manual for the shelter somewhere. We may need to find it. That should give us more information.
Like what?
Like maybe why we're here. He said all the information we need is there.
Oh, I'm sure your dad said a lot of stuff, but right now let's just do this.
You know, I read somewhere that if people were isolated from the light of day for a long time, they started to go to bed later, and then later, as if they had a 25-hour day.
Is that so?
Yeah, it's as if we have an inner clock that runs just a little bit slower than the actual day.
Explains why I hate getting up early.
There is a pile of boxes in the middle of the room. It will take a while to go through them. As they are sorting through the boxes, Timothy picks up the box with the hidden laptop, looks inside it, and puts it on a shelf near the kitchen door.
Box of blankets. Just gonna shelf it for now. We already have some and it's warm in here.
Yeah, sure.
I also read that if people were isolated from society, and after a while they began to talk more slowly and think more slowly.
Where did you read all this stuff?
There was an experiment where they took some people and they put them in a village without connection to the outside world, without movies, TV, phones, internet, nothing. After a while, they stopped speaking as fast or as much. It just kind of got slower and quieter.
That sounds promising.
It's interesting. How long did it take?
I don't know. I remember Madame Deleuze saying that it was faster than what she expected, so probably not long.
Madame who?
Madame Deleuze, my French immersion tutor.
Of course.
Well, we're here for 100 days, so we get to replicate the experiment as well as testing the 25-hour day. It's odd, though, isn't it? I mean, we're here for a fixed time period, but they didn't give us a clock. I wonder why.
Who knows? Why are you asking me?
I'm just asking. You may be right. This may have been set up very last minute. I could really use that shelter manual. I wonder where it is. While we unpack, can we get priority of the boxes with the Burroughs logo on them? More than likely it's going to be in one of those boxes. It's the same one that was on the hatchet.
Got it. Hatchet logo all over it.
With a logo on it. Okay.
Oh, aha! I've got it! I give you one Burroughs Base 1 radio, 150 watts, 1.6 to 30 megahertz, wave hopping, integrated modem, battery or mains powered, one of our best sellers. Now where's that accessory pack? Here we go. Handset, whip antenna, speaker cable, data cable.
Can you get it to work?
Should be able to. It may take a while. Should we just leave it till morning? Or whatever we want. Call it wake up time?
No, let's do it now. Show me how it works. What is this?
That's a harness for the mobile battery operations. Okay, hang on. So we'll set it up. Give me a second. So this plugs in here. We'll leave some space on the shelf for the computer. If we find it, speaker cable goes here. This is where you can set the broadcast frequency. I'll set it to scan. We can just leave the mic unplugged on the shelf here for now so we don't broadcast by mistake. Okay, can you plug it in?
Holy shit! What was that?
Works!
Sorry, the volume was on full. I left the squelch off.
Great! Now what?
We can keep it on low volume in the background. It automatically scans the bandwidth. We'll hear if anyone else is broadcasting. They give us an idea of what's happening outside.
Can we try it?
Sorry?
Can we try it?
What do you mean try it? It's working fine right now.
I mean talk to somebody.
Sure, but we need to wait 30 days.
Why?
Not sure, but those are the directions. Anyhow, I'm Bush. I'm going to go to bed. What about you guys?
Yeah, me too. No PJs unpacked, so guess it's undies.
Tim?
Timothy. And I'm not sure about the 24-hour day thing, but bedtime feels right about now.
Anybody still have toothbrushes? No? Guess we'll have to skip brushing tonight. Good night.
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 30 megahertz. Mom?
Peter creeps out of bed and goes to the radio holding his flashlight. He gets the microphone, plugs it in, and dials the frequency 30 megahertz. He presses the button and talks in a stage whisper.
Hello? 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 Over? Hello, this is Peter at Belone. I'm underground in some kind of shelter. Is anyone there? Can you hear me? And does anyone know what time it is? Is it nighttime? Hello? Anyone hear me?
What's going on? Hey, come on, you know the rules!
But look, this is my mother's handwriting. She left me this. She must want me to contact her.
Yeah, eventually, maybe, not now. Nothing for 30 days.
But why?
I don't know, it's just the rules until we know better.
I'm scared and I miss them.
I know, okay, I miss my folks too. It'll be okay.
What's going on?
Just go back to sleep, it's okay.
Doesn't look okay.
Peter tried to reach his folks on the radio. You understand, right? He's a kid, he's missing them.
Do you think anyone heard him?
Probably not, he's only on there for a few seconds, so not likely enough to lead anyone here.
God damn it! Why did you have to do that? You know you weren't supposed to!
Enough, leave him alone. What's done is done, we can't change it. So just go back to bed, we can talk about it in the morning, or, hey, not.
Whatever. But in the meantime, let's avoid temptation. I'm locking the mic in my locker.
You okay, kid?
Okay.
Alright, so let's all go to bed. So there's no harm done.
A week has passed. Most of the boxes have been put away. The three boys are sitting at dinner.
Not a peep out of the radio, just static.
I guess when they said lockdown, they really meant it.
What do you mean?
Like when people are isolated, like with zombies. You don't want to attract attention and you want to be safe, so they lock us away.
You mean to protect us against a zombie apocalypse?
Exactly.
The zombies aren't real.
I know, but there are other dangers out there. How about protecting us from warfare? Like Final Fantasy, or even better, World of Warcraft.
There is no way World of Warcraft was a better RPG than Final Fantasy.
I could play World of Warcraft for hours. My buddies would play with me. Heck, there were almost 6 million players. Now we can't even get online. Heck, there still isn't online.
What do you mean if they're still online? Where would they go?
I don't know. I mean, here we are alone. Have not heard a word from the rest of the world. How should I know where everyone went?
You're right. It's been a week. We haven't heard a thing on this radio. I mean, what happened to everyone? There were thousands of radio stations, plus who knows how many ham radio operators. Where is everyone?
Plus, there should be other shelters.
Yes, of course. I forgot the other shelters.
Maybe they're busy playing video games?
No, I mean it. The entire world was there when we woke up here. Billions of people. Why is no one broadcasting anything? What happened to all the commercial stations? Two-way radios to everything.
Could we be too far away for anything to get a signal?
This isn't like cell phones. Radio waves, they travel far. I mean, weather can make a difference. Could be storms out there causing interference, but it's been a week since we set up and nothing.
Are you sure you set it up right?
Pretty sure. It worked earlier.
I mean, isn't it supposed to have an antenna or something, like a tower outside we'd have to hook it into?
It's not likely to have a big tower outside if we need to keep the place secret. Anyway, it might help, but you don't need a huge antenna to receive. If there's a signal, we should be able to hear it.
Well, is there a way to boost reception? Like, turn up the volume?
Volume is just how loud we hear. It doesn't change what signal we get. I mean,
Timothy,
sorry, Timothy, has a point. We may be getting less of a signal underground, but other than that, there's nothing stopping us from receiving. I'm an idiot.
Agreed. Any specific reason?
Idiot. Okay, so you remember when we set it up and there was that blast of noise?
Yeah, and?
And you remember what I did?
Turn down the volume, so.
And what else?
You turned on the squeal or something.
Yes, that's right. I turned on the squelch. Does anybody know what the squelch is?
Spare us the drama already. No idea. Enlighten us.
Okay, there's a lot of radio waves out there and they make a lot of noise, so in order to filter out the background noise and keep the real signal, there's a squelch function that filters out the less powerful signals, the noise, keeping the stuff that you want, namely the signal. Got it?
No! I don't get it!
We are in a hole in the ground, so a lot of signals are already blocked. As Timothy pointed out, if we have an antenna, it is likely small enough to be hidden. That also decreases our signal. What if the squelch function shut everything out? So, let's find out.
If there is anyone out there,
That was it.
This is PLON1 calling from. There are only 17 of us left here and 12 at our sister station, KLMON1. Everyone else now is trying to keep the survivors in touch until it's safe to repeat. This is PLON1. If there's anybody out there, please respond.
What do they mean, survivors?
What on earth is going on out there?
What do they mean, survivors?
Means everyone else is dying.
You don't know that. How can you say that? You don't know.
Do you know any other meaning to the word survivors? If some people are surviving, then others are not.
We don't know anything for sure.
Well, I believe what you want. I tell you, everyone is dying out there, and that is why we are locked down here.
You don't know that. You don't know any of that.
The fact is, none of us know what is happening outside. Whatever it is, it doesn't sound good. A few minutes ago, you said you didn't know where everybody went.
Now I do. They are all dead or dying except for a few isolated pockets. Nothing else makes sense. That is what our parents were protecting us from.
How could they know?
That is a whole other can of worms. Don't think I haven't thought about that.
And any bright ideas, since you seem to know it all?
None that I care to share with you right now.
Can you stop quarreling? Whatever it is our parents put us here to take care of us. Our parents cared for us. Until whatever has happened is over and we can make contact with the other shelters, we should care for each other.
Nobody is in any shelter just because of caring or protecting. These shelters exist because the 1% can afford them.
What's the 1%?
That's an aspect of you I haven't seen yet. Bit of a penthouse pinko, perhaps?
What's the 1%?
Far from the penthouse.
What is the 1%? What are you talking
The
about?
1% are the entitled rich. That's who. The richest 1% of society that control the other 99%.
Yeah, you know, this doesn't look like 1% luxury.
You don't think being alive is the luxury?
Maybe, but then you say the 1% like it's a bad thing. It's survival of the fittest. I don't have a problem being part of the 1% if it saves me. I don't see you complaining about surviving.
Your family must have loved you if they got you in.
All the love in the world with no money would have you on the other side of that door.
Bottom line is this: if this is true, setting a shelter like this up required both love and money. So I'm not going to complain about being in the 1% like some damn socialist. If you weren't part of it, you wouldn't be here. So shut up, or maybe you want to leave.
Let us in! We need to get in! We know you're there! We heard the radio!
Can they break in?
Don't know.
We're going to find out, though, aren't we?
Hello? Is anyone in there? Can you hear us? Can you let us in? Please! There are only 2 of us and a baby. Please!
A baby!
I know you can hear me. For the love of God! Everyone is dying out here. Please, let us in!
They have a baby out there.
Yeah, I heard.
So what are we going to do?
Nothing.
What do you mean nothing?
We know you are there! Let us in!
Just what I said. Nothing. Doors stay locked.
It's a baby.
Okay. We get it. We will leave now, but we're leaving our baby here. Her name is Matilda, and she's 3 months old. When we are gone, please take her in.
No, you can't. She will die if we leave her here.
She will certainly die if she stays here with us.
But Maddie,
Okay, we're leaving now. Take care of our baby.
It's a baby. We should go get it.
Might be a trick. Just get us to open the door. Either way, the door stays shut.
But it's a baby.
We have enough supplies. We can take a baby in, no problem.
You know the rules. Nobody opens that door for at least 100 days.
Why not?
How the fuck should I know? That's just the rules.
But it's a baby! A baby!
Fuck rules. We can handle a baby.
I'm gonna bring it in.
Nobody opens the door. My dad warned me some of you might try to do something against the rules, so I gave you the gun. I'm gonna put a padlock on that door, and it stays shut for 4 months. Whether there are 3 survivors inside or only 2. None of this makes sense, but those are the rules, and that's all we have to go on.
Timothy, it's a baby.
How does it feel being in the 1% now? Warm and fuzzy? Any comfort from keeping the rules? Fuck you.
Days later, we are 17 out of 100.
What are you listening to?
Cowboy junkies.
I saw them in concert once. My parents took me. Their bass player was weird.
Weird?
Yeah. He stood like a statue with only his fingers moving for the entire concert.
What is it with bass players? They never seem to get worked up about anything. Now, drummers, they show emotion.
My dad called bass players phlegmatic. He liked classic theater, and he said that the ideal band had at least one of each temperament. The bass player was phlegmatic, the drummer was choleric, the guitarist was sanguine, and the singer was always melancholic.
What about the keyboards?
I don't know. Probably a bit of each, you know? Pounding the piano, but playing sad tunes. Sort of a mix of everything.
What are you guys talking about? It's a band, not a philosophy lesson.
Discussion enriches the experience. Doesn't it, Grasshopper?
Huh? Grasshopper?
It's a classic TV show. You know, Kung Fu, David Carradine.
My parents didn't like me to watch too much TV.
Never heard of it, and I did watch TV.
Lord save me, I am surrounded by heathens. Help me to enlighten them. Kung Fu was a classic TV series in the 1970s about a Shaolin monk who wandered the American West. His master called him Grasshopper. I was reminded of it because it was one of the DVDs in our box.
Who on earth would have picked Kung Fu?
That would be my dad. Classic TV was his thing. Your parents were into musicals, mine were into TV. They met at Comic-Con in an audience for some TV show that they both liked.
Cool.
You folks of the 1% are weird, you know that? My folks worked for a living. And for entertainment, we had discussions around the dinner table, and they didn't spend all of their time at concerts or at Comic-Con or whatever.
Get off your high horse already. I don't have this 1% stuff. You're here. Kinda means you didn't grow up in poverty, so give it a break. Speaking of which, I'm kind of ready for a break. Did you want to watch an episode of Kung Fu with me?
Sure. Timothy?
No thanks. I'll go back to the Cowboy Junkies.
Day 23 of 100.
Anything else to wash up?
Hold your horses, I'm coming.
What do you think happened to her?
Happened to whom?
To the baby?
The one they left outside?
Yeah. Matilda. I can't get her out of my head.
I suspect that she's dead.
That's very sad.
Yeah, but considering that everyone else out there is dying anyway, it probably is for the best. As much as I hate to admit it, follow the rules boy over there was probably right. We needed to stay locked down.
How do you know everyone is dying?
Her dad said so. He said, for the love of God, everyone is dying out here. So like I said, it's probably for the best.
Why do you say that? That's cruel.
Cruel or not, it's what's happening.
First of all, thanks for agreeing that was the right decision. You know, I still hear that baby crying in my head. Must have killed you to admit I was right, but thanks. Second, it is cruel, even if it might be true. Finally, you don't know for sure. And we heard the radio station calling for survivors. It means there is someone out there. Anyway, next week we hit day 30. We'll start broadcasting.
Whoop-de-doo! We can start broadcasting, so what? You are so stuck up with the rules. Who died and made you king?
Well, according to you, most of the rest of the world.
Fuck you!
Stop it! Stop it already! You're knocking everything all over! Hey, there's a laptop in that box! A laptop computer, I tell you, in the box you knocked over. See for yourself.
I'll be darned. Why is it hidden in a box labeled blankets? Any ideas, Brainiac? You always seem to find the solutions.
Who said it was hidden? The boxes were a mess. I don't know what happened. It was probably thrown in there with everything else when they were setting up in a hurry.
Who cares if it was hidden? Maybe it will tell us why we are here. Or where our families are. Maybe we can go online and reach someone. Anyone. Okay. We need a password. Let's try administrator. Not it. Admin. Not it either. Password. Anyone have any ideas?
Try your last name.
No, E-P-U-L-O-N. That's not it. How was yours spelled?
Bergman. B-E-R-G-M-A-N.
No. Bob?
Burrows, like it sounds, double R.
U-R-R-O-W-S. No. What else could it be?
Why put a computer in here and then lock us out of it? That doesn't make any sense.
Come on, folks. Think of something. Parents' names.
Maybe it's like everything else. Got to set up fast and no time to get organized.
Yeah, someone had time to password protect the computer? No, that can't be it. If it was fresh out of the box, there'd be no password.
What are your parents' first names?
Give it a rest for a minute. Let's think. Names won't be the answer here. So, what would you do at school if you had a shared computer, you want to keep the password secret but available to the other users?
I have no idea what you're going on about.
You would put the password somewhere near the computer, but not so obvious casual passerby would see it. Excuse me. No, it's not that simple. Where else could it be? Where else? Anything else in the box? Oh, shelter manual, mil specs. I knew it had to be here somewhere.
What is that? Let me see it.
Hang on a minute. Let's see what we have here. So water supply purification, power management, supply
Mil
inventory,
spec. What's a mil spec?
lockdown duration and timer, lockdown breach protocol. There's a lot of lockdown
It's
stuff.
not a thing. It means military specifications.
And everything made for the military, everything always comes with a manual. My father told me if you made cutlery for the army, you'd have to prepare a manual for the spoons. Anyway, here we go. Informatics and electronic devices, page 183. Computer systems. Each shelter is equipped with a computer and the equipment for a secure private network communications to be activated upon initiation of the lockdown phase. Communications outside of the private network will become available only after the lockdown is over. See Section 7, Subsection 5 for deployment instructions and Section 7, Subsection 6 for networking instructions.
Forget the deployment. Where's the password? Then we can look for the networking.
I'm working on it, okay? So, it says the computer has a root directory of a more complete version of this manual and an inventory of all shelter supplies on a spreadsheet. During a lockdown, it's supposed to be updated daily as the supplies are consumed.
And?
The spreadsheet is programmed to alert residents if a specific item may be running in short supply and may not be enough to last through the lockdown phase until such time as the outside supply dumps can be accessed. There's that lockdown thing again, this current theme. Makes me feel glad we didn't open the door.
I meant, and what about the password?
And the computer also has medical files of all shelter residents, as well as manuals for basic medical and surgical interventions. These are accompanied with video explanations where appropriate.
It's pretty useless if we don't have a password.
Each shelter's computer is password protected. It is recommended to change the password to a unique one after the first login. The default password is shelter XXX, case sensitive, where the XXX is to be replaced with the shelter number.
What's our shelter number?
How should I know? Do you know?
Not a clue.
So let's just start trying our options. Shelter 001. No. Shelter 002. No. Shelter 003. There can only be 999 options. Shelter 004. No.
Unless it's alphanumeric, like a 2 to A or something. Then the options are 36 to the third, which is more like 27,000 and change.
Do you think that could be?
You're a real ray of sunshine, you know? Don't stop. If we get nowhere, then we can think of other options, but try plain numbers first. I'll finish hooking everything up. There's a modem on the radio in case there's still internet out there.
Shelter 005. No. 006. No.
Computer has been found. I'll start sending messages when I can at 0300 and 1500 as planned.
Far away, in that other chamber, a computer comes to life and beeps that the message has arrived. The man in the chamber rushes to the computer and starts to type, but his keyboard is not working. Try as he might, the man cannot answer.
I guess you are not out there right now, or you are not getting this. I will try again when I next have privacy at a designated hour. Hope you are okay. Miss you. T.
What's going on?
I think I figured out the password.
What, you did? How did you do that? What time is it?
It's just past 3, and I had a dream. And remembered that when I looked up at the ladder to the hatch, it had A15 written on it. So I tried shelter A15, and it worked.
So you're in?
Looks like it.
What's going on?
Timothy figured out the password.
Oh, cool! Thanks, Timothy! So, what's on
It
it?
doesn't look like much. I just got in, but it looks like there's only an operating system and some basic software here. I don't see any data.
What, only an operating system? No, why bother password protecting it if there's nothing on it? The manual said the computer was loaded with all kinds of stuff.
Sense or not, take a look.
Let me see. This looks like the entire partition has been wiped. The programs are here, but no data. How can that be? So, someone would have to format it on purpose. There's nothing here. The entire data drive has been reformatted. Why?
It could be that it was never set up because they were too tight for time.
No, it's been wiped. The initial screen setup looks different. I know these computers. I've been playing with them my whole life.
You mean we unlocked the computer and then there's nothing on it?
No, I didn't say that. I said the data drive has been reformatted. The operating system is still present, and the backup is on the D drives. I should be able to restore it.
D drive?
Yeah, you remember I said mil specs designed to withstand an EMP pulse. It's almost impossible to erase these babies. There's a second shielded drive with the operating system, an automatic backup, and bonus, a keyboard tracker, so we can see whatever was typed up into it up until the last backup. And since the format command should automatically trigger a backup before erasing any drive, we should be able to figure out what happened.
Tracker?
Yeah, it's a program that records everything that was keyed in so you can review any activity. See, there, it should be able to restore the drive. Probably going to take a while. I wonder what happened to it.
So what now?
I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to go to the bathroom and then go back to bed.
That's really exciting. Thanks for figuring it out.
You're welcome.
How did you figure it out?
Came to me in a dream.
Really?
Really.
Wow. Timothy,
Yes?
listen, I apologize. I didn't mean to, but I knocked over your photograph.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's a tiny chip on one of the corners. I'm really sorry.
Is that it? Don't worry about it.
Thanks. I was so worried you were going to be upset.
Like I said, don't worry about it. Accidents happen. Good night.
Who's in the second picture?
Sorry?
Well, when I knocked it over, it came apart, and I saw that second picture. So I put it back together, and then that's when I saw that there was a chip off. I'm sorry.
It's a picture of my aunt, uncle, and cousin. It was in the box, but I only have the one frame, so I put the picture behind it to protect it.
Oh, that's cool. You're lucky. I didn't even get a picture of the dog, so just that portrait. My mother liked that one. I think the bow tie makes me look like a dork. Anyway, good night.
Damn.
Day 44 of 100.
Dinner is served. Timothy, come on over here while it's still warm. Any luck reaching someone online?
Nothing.
No response?
Nothing to radio, nothing to text. Been manning the damn radio and the computer for 2 weeks now, and we haven't heard a sign of life. It's like all the stations we had earlier have disappeared. And I am sending out messages with no response.
Who on earth are you messaging?
Anyone I can get, trying Twitter, mass mails, whatever.
Here we go, shepherd's pie. And I will have you know, it is not as easy to make with powdered mashed potatoes and frozen carrots.
What kind of pie?
Shepherd's pie.
Well, I don't see any shepherd in it, and it doesn't look like any other pie I've ever seen, so what do you mean pie?
That's what it's called. Actually, it's more of a casserole with meat, carrots, potatoes, and some other stuff thrown in. I made this one with peas because we were out of carrots.
So why do they call it pie?
I don't know. Maybe it was round and they were into geometry.
What?
You know, like pie the letter, pie the food.
Of course I get it. Just because I didn't have a private tutor doesn't make me stupid. Anyhow, I'm not hungry. I'm going to take a shower. I set up so it's your turn to clean. This time, give me 5 minutes to shower before using the hot water, okay?
Well, there. Okay.
Shepherd's pie, how stupid is it?
You know he doesn't really mean anything by it.
Why doesn't he like me?
Sorry?
Why doesn't he like me? I know I can make people feel a bit awkward. My mom says I'm not always socially aware. But still, why doesn't he like me?
What does it matter? He's a bit of a... He's difficult. Maybe he's more stressed than he lets on.
It matters because nobody likes me. And that's why they pulled me out of school. I kept getting picked on. I seem to be able to say and do stuff that ticks people off, but I never have any idea what it is.
If they bully you, it's not because of something you did. You can't make someone do something. They choose to do it. That's not your fault.
Then why does it always happen to me? Nobody likes what I like. I just irritate people. And the more I try, the more pissed off they get.
Whoa. Pissed off? Never heard you use such strong language.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I'm joking.
See? That's what I mean. I don't get it. I don't get it when people speak. My mother says I miss nuance, but I don't know even what that means. What's wrong with me? I just mess up all the time.
Look, nuance is something you eventually learn, and if not, there's nothing you can do about it, so who cares? Bottom line is that people who care about you will make the effort to make sure that you understand, and people who don't, well, I mean, since we're using strong language, fuck them. Seriously, when this is over, Timothy can go his own way, and anything he said, all those moments will be lost in time, like tears and rain.
Oh, you got the quote. Ray Batty in the original Blade Runner. I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. I've watched sea beams glitter in the dark near the Tannhauser Gate. All those moments will be lost in time like tears and rain. Time to die.
You get nuance. That was pretty obscure, but you got it.
Well, you did give me air quotes.
It doesn't matter. Look, Timothy was upset about not making contact with anyone outside. You remember how you were the day that we woke up here? His comments has nothing to do with you. He just took it out on you. It's not fair, but it's not your fault. And we're all a bit on edge.
Guess so. My mother always said we have to take care of each other. Timothy was probably having a rough day. He likely feels the same way about his family. After all, he keeps that extra picture of his uncle in the frame of his family portrait. Anyhow, let's clear up. I'll help you.
Picture?
Yeah, I had knocked his frame over by mistake and I saw the other photos, so I asked them. It was his uncle and their family. Anyhow, thanks for talking to me about this. Here he comes. So let's just let bygones be bygones.
Yeah, sure. Anytime.
Day 63 of 100.
What do you guys want for dinner? It's my turn again today. I promise. No shepherd's pie.
Whatever you want's good with me. The burgers were good.
Yeah, sure, the burger's fine. You know, this is odd. I've recovered the files and trying to look through the medical stuff they said would be here. There's supposed to be files in each person in the individual shelters with allergies, medications, and so on. Nothing here.
Oh, well, could they not have had time to set it up?
They had time to get your favorite flavor of ice cream in the freezer and have a box packed for each of us. This should have taken priority over any of that.
Well, I don't have any allergies and I don't take any medication. How about you guys?
Nothing here.
Well, neither do I, but that's not the point. The computer with some important information is sitting in a box labeled blankets. It has a hard drive reformatted, and even once I retrieve all the data, everything personal is missing. Makes no sense.
So what do you think happened?
Not sure. You're usually the guy with all the theories. Any ideas?
Nothing off the top of my head. Simplest solution is that the computer is just a plain vanilla model designed for all the shelters, but never set up for this one. They probably never put the personal information on there. Also, we are young and healthy. The medical field may have been designed for shelters with older people.
I would think the same thing, that they never set the computer up, except for one problem. There was a password on the computer that was specific to this shelter. So someone must have set it up, and someone must have erased it, and overwritten the data so that I can't retrieve it.
I'll let you guys figure this out. I'm gonna get cooking. Burgers it is.
Couldn't it be accidental?
It's pretty difficult to reformat a computer by accident. And overwrite it? Not likely.
Who would want to do that, and why? It makes no sense.
I'm not sure, but I'm working on it. All I can tell you so far is that the last login before you cracked the password was the day that we woke up here.
What else do you think we can find from there?
Not sure. There's only one password for the computer, so I can't tell you who logged in, but maybe I can figure out what files were erased.
I thought you could retrieve everything.
So did I, but like I said, they were deleted and then overwritten before the reformat, which makes me wonder, like you, who would do something like
Well,
that?
good luck with that. Sounds a bit conspiracy theory to me.
Yeah, well, I have the time and we're not going anywhere, so... Grab the fire extinguisher, cover that area. I think I see Peter.
How is he?
He's dead.
Are you sure?
He's dead, I'm sure.
What happened?
I don't know. I can't think right now. Something exploded in the kitchen and now Peter's dead. God, what are we going to do with this body?
Was he religious?
What?
You said, oh God, and then asked what we were going to do with the body, so I asked if he was religious.
I really don't know.
Are you?
What is with the religious questions? He just died. Can you stop with the Inquisition for a minute?
Maybe he would want us to say a prayer or something.
I don't know. I kind of doubt it. I think he would have preferred a Broadway tune. There's not much point planning his funeral. There's nowhere to bury him.
So, what do we do now?
Don't know. Just give me a minute, okay? This isn't in the manual. Usually the guy who has all the answers. What happened?
I was just asking!
There's an explosion. Peter's dead. We don't know why there was an explosion. We don't know what it's done to our supplies. We don't know what it's done to our equipment. We don't even know what to do with the body because we're in a box underground and we can't leave. Is this a reasonable assessment of the situation? Have I missed anything?
You really do like those lists, don't you? Every time there's a problem, you make a list. You can't really quarrel with a list, especially the last part, considering that you're hanging onto the key to the padlock on the door.
Yeah, I'll keep hanging on to it until the lockdown's finished. We made it so far. We only have another 40 days to go.
So again, what do we do now?
Okay. First, we need to secure the kitchen to be safe. And we can figure out what to do with Peter's body.
The kitchen's a mess, but I think I put out all the fires.
What exploded?
How should I know?
It's a rhetorical question.
Oh,
Anything left in that fire extinguisher?
it's about half full.
Okay, bring it over. Let's look in the kitchen. Keep yourself ready with the extinguisher. It's not likely there's going to be another explosion, but you never know. Looks like the explosion was in the oven. Touched the side of the oven when he was putting in a tray, was shocked, and then the door blew off. I don't know why, though. There's no reason for it to short out that way. Looks like the fridges are all still working. This one has a broken door, but we can force it shut. Food and water are all right. Even though it works, we should probably take the food out of the fridge with the broken door and put it in the other one. We only need one fridge with the supplies we have left.
We can put Peter in the empty fridge.
Sorry, the fridge?
Well, we can't leave him in the living area. We're not going to be able to bury him outside. So do you have any better ideas? To quote you, am I missing anything?
Of course, you're right. I just can't figure out how this happens. There's a bunch of fail-safes that are supposed to stop this kind of stuff.
We're not going to figure this out now. Let's clean up. I'll start moving food.
I'll wrap Peter up. You can use his sheet as a shroud. He's pretty small. How are we doing back there?
Pretty much ready.
Can you give me a hand moving him?
I'll grab the legs, you take the head.
He really didn't weigh much.
Yeah.
I remember reading once about how people thought that the soul had weight. It was why dead bodies weren't as heavy as people expected them to be. I wonder if there's any truth to that.
It's the kind of question Peter would have asked.
I don't think I've ever seen a dead body.
Me neither. Now what?
No idea. Stop asking. Just keep going until the lockdown is over.
Have you given any thought to what happens then?
What do you mean?
Well, we haven't been able to reach anybody on the radio or on the internet. We haven't heard any radio traffic for weeks. Last voices we heard were from before we started broadcasting at 30 days.
And so?
What if we are all that's left? Just you and me.
Well, we just have to keep looking. Everybody can't be dead.
Day 68 of 100. Bob and Timothy are alone. Time passes slowly. Bob occupies himself trying to figure out what happened to Peter, and Timothy is trying to contact anyone else who may be alive. In the other shelter, the man is trying to repair his keyboard.
I think I figured out the explosion. Looks like there were some frayed wires and a short circuit in the oven. Have you had any luck reaching anyone?
Nothing on the radio, nothing online, such as it is. Who knows if there's even an internet left?
I have no idea why you're still sending emails or texts or whatever. People don't get the radio. What are the odds they're going to get a text message?
Well, I don't know about you, but most of us are not survivalists and don't have a shortwave radio at our disposal. So I figure that people might still be open to emails or any other kind of text messaging. Anyhow, whatever I do is not interfering with anything, so give me a break, okay?
Who exactly are you?
What do you mean?
It's a pretty simple question. Who are you? You're not Timothy Bergman. Too many things don't fit.
Like what?
Well, you're in a shelter created by the 1%, but you despise the 1%. You seem to know things no one else does. You've been sitting here for days trying to text
I'm
somebody.
trying to text anybody. We're not getting anywhere with the radio.
Trying to text somebody and obviously not getting an answer. The computer was hidden in a box.
It was in a box that doesn't make it hidden. There was lots of stuff in boxes.
The computer was hidden in a box labeled blankets, and only you were able to figure out the password.
I think the word you're looking for is thank you.
And then once we log in, it looks like everything's been deleted, and finally there's the curious second photograph that you have in your frame. Surprised? Yeah, I know about that. Peter mentioned it to me before he died, so when you were showering, I checked it out. That bothered me. I knew I'd seen the man in the picture before, but I couldn't place it until now. Then the penny dropped. Father in that picture is David Bergman. He and my father worked on some projects a while back, and you know the interesting thing? I happen to know that he had a son called Timothy. So, who exactly are you? Tim? Is Tim even your real name?
By now it's too late to make a difference. My name truly is Timothy, except it's Timothy Zeif. You gonna shoot me now?
Why are you here?
Well, it sure beats dying out there.
You know what I mean. How did you end up here instead of the other Timothy? What do you know about what's going on out there?
Well, there is a story there, but not much point in telling you if you're going to shoot me anyway. So why don't you decide what you want to do, and if you're going to shoot me, get it over with. If not, then why don't you put the gun away? We've had enough accidents.
We're assuming Peter's death was an accident.
Maybe it was, and maybe it wasn't. Either way, I have no intention of having a conversation at gunpoint. Also, you might want to consider then, we haven't been able to reach anybody else outside, so if you shoot me, it's going to be a pretty lonely world. You up for that?
Okay, talk.
Much better. Now let me tell you a story then. A story about the 1% and the other 99%. Once upon a time, there were a few people who felt that they were much better than everyone else. They were more important. They were more powerful. And they felt that they were of higher value than everyone else. In fact, everyone else had almost no value at all. These people, the 1%, became very wealthy. Sound familiar? Anyhow. As they became wealthier and wealthier, their concern for others became smaller and smaller until it was all gone. They couldn't care if the people working for them remained poor, suffered, became ill. Heck, if they didn't care if they died as long as the money kept rolling in.
Is this about your mother?
Smart boy, it is indeed. My mother worked for Burroughs International, your father's company, in the lab for years. In the lab with the defective safety equipment. Defective equipment that she had pointed out to the management many, many times. And then one day she got cancer and died.
You can't know that she got cancer because of equipment.
No, you're absolutely right. That was what we thought too. We didn't know initially. Then we found out that almost everyone from the lab had the same cancer. And that a few of them had sued the company and settled. And that even despite knowing about the defective fume hoods, the company waited 2 years to fix them. It was cheaper to pay off a few paltry settlements. So yes, I do know, and so did your beloved father. By the way, after years of stellar assessments, my dad was fired from Burroughs for poor performance. Funny how that happened just after he testified at one of the lawsuits. Now, where were we? Ah, yes. So the 1% continued happily exploiting the other 99, and the world continued turning a blind eye. But you know what? Soon that wasn't enough. With climate change, increasing civil unrest, social polarization, and decreasing resources, the 1% began to get worried. What if there were too many people on the planet? What if there was civil unrest and an uprising by the 99%? Also, they realized that the 99% were really unnecessary and just consumed resources. They really only needed a small fraction of them to keep the system going. So they came up with a plan. Let's get rid of a whole bunch of unimportant people, they said. It's time for a call!
That is bullshit. My father would never do that.
Really? Ever wonder why everything in this shelter is from Burroughs International? Of course he would do it. He just wouldn't tell you. Now stop interrupting. So, the 1% needed a way to thin out the 99%, quietly and safely. The plan was to develop a pathogen with multi-drug resistance, but a limited penetration, so not everyone would die. After all, the 1% needed a serving class, right? The leadership of the group called themselves the executive. Your father was one of them, as was Peters and David Bergman. They were the organizers and the selection committee. They quietly approached select 1%ers and brought them aboard. The plan was to set up a vaccination program for the selected few, and just to be safe, as of the release date, treat them with antiviral drugs developed by Burroughs, but not released to the public at large. Still under trial, so to speak. About 30% of the world population would die. The pharma companies would hold off on releasing the drugs until the executives felt the cull had gone on long enough. Then they launch the new wonder drugs. Can you imagine the frenzy to buy the one and only cure? The black market. A huge profit. Pharma saves the day. For a profit, of course. You do not become the 1% by sitting idle.
I don't believe you. That is not my father.
Well, if we get out here, you can go on a quest to find the truth. You might not like what you find, though. Either way, I really don't care what you believe. My mother was working on the vaccines. She was told it was for the army, protect our boys from nasty enemy biowarfare. Half-truth, I guess. It was for a few boys, and it was biowarfare, just not against the enemy. It was against us. People like my family. By the time my dad hacked into the Burroughs company's secret server and figured it out, it was too late.
Then why are we here alone? Where are all these vaccinated people?
Yes. You see, even the best plans can get fucked up. By the time my father figured it out, there had already been an accidental release. The antivirals had not been manufactured or stockpiled yet. There weren't enough vaccine batches made, and people were starting to die. A lot of people. It didn't help that this thing was far more lethal than they thought. It was killing everyone. And the executive panicked. There was always a plan to have a few shelters for their families in case things went sour, but this happened too soon and too fast. This is the only shelter my dad was able to locate. For once, instead of squabbling, the executive decided to save their kids. We knew this was a kid shelter, but didn't know who was in it other than Timothy Bergman. My mother was dead. And my father wanted me to survive, so we got here before the other Timothy, and the rest you know.
Makes no sense. Where is the other Timothy? And why wouldn't your father shelter here?
The other Timothy is lying dead outside somewhere. I heard my dad shoot him and drag the body away. And why didn't he come in? Because we are not like you. He wasn't going to sacrifice a child for his survival. The shelter had limited supplies, so if he came in, someone would have to leave, and he couldn't do that. Maybe if he had known one of the kids was the Burroughs brat, he would have thought differently. Anyhow, he told me he had a plan. He had hacked into the shelter VPN, and I was to message him when I could. Maybe he had a plan, and maybe he didn't, and was making it up to reassure me so I would leave him. I don't know. Anyway, he said he would come and get me after the lockdown, and that is who I've been trying to reach, but so far no success. So what are you going to do?
And Peter?
What about him?
His death.
Oh, I killed him. He had spotted the second picture in the frame. He was asking difficult questions, and I don't have my father's compunctions. You and your friends killed my mother. At the time, I couldn't care if you both dropped dead.
At the time.
At the time, we all thought there would be more people out there. Who cared if a few 1%ers died? But now it would seem that my father did not survive. And you and I are the only ones left. I don't relish being the only person on the planet. So like I said, what are you going to do?
Days, but over 4 weeks to go.
Day 70 of 100.
Halfway there. Any answer from anyone?
Nothing. Nothing on shortwave or text. Nothing at all. It should ping if an email or a text comes in. Still can't crack the router to get a message outside the network. That is, if there's anyone out there. Ever wonder if there really is nobody left? Like we're the only ones on Earth?
Day 75 of 100.
25 days. Anything?
Nothing. There isn't anyone left out there.
Can't be. We may not be able to reach them, the locked network and a small setup, but maybe when we get out there we can find a real radio station, use better gear.
What? Do you know how to operate a radio station now? And where will you get power?
Sure, I can figure something out.
Yeah, sure you can.
Day 81 of 100.
Another 18 days to go. I feel like crap.
What's the matter with you? You don't look so hot.
I think I'm coming down with something. Feverish, achy, and sweaty all last night. I took some of the stuff from pharmacy supplies. Just gotta give it time to work. It'll be okay. I'm not hungry, so I'm just gonna catch some sleep. It's not like we have somewhere to go for another 18 days. What's going on? Hey, leave that! Why?
Now, you are all alone.
Idiot. Why did you do that? We had 18 days to go, just 18 days? You couldn't keep still for 18 days? Idiot!
Day 95 of 100.
5 days. 5 days. The hell was he trying to text all this time? It's way too quiet in here. Where did Peter keep that MP3 player? Where is it? No. There we go. And music. You gotta be kidding me. How? There's someone out there. Is anyone receiving these messages? If someone is receiving these messages. Yes. Who is this? Where are you? I am in one of the shelters. Which one? Where? Don't know. We woke up here. How many? 3? Who are you?
My name is Paul Zeif. Who are you?
Well. What do you know? You must be Timothy's dad. What is the date?
April 5th. When did you lock down?
Don't know. We woke up here.
What's your name? Where are you located? Is everyone okay? Hello? Are you getting the messages? Who are you?
We were told to keep quiet until the lockdown was over. I figured it's just 5 more days now, so I answered your message.
Actually, it's a week.
Okay, thanks. Not sure how we messed that up. Must have crossed off an extra day on the calendar twice. Anyway, not much I can tell you, even if I was allowed. I don't even know where we are.
I think I know your location.
Where are we?
You are probably in the hills about 3 days north of the city. Is everyone okay? Okay, got it. No comment. Have to deal with some maintenance here. I will try to reach you again tomorrow at the same time. Happy to talk to anyone there if you are not available.
What time is it?
6 a.m.
Is it dark outside?
No idea. Likely, but I am locked in like you. Speak tomorrow.
I am pretty sure I didn't mess up the days. And if I did, I would be short a day from when I was sick, not likely 7 days left. So if he is coming to pick up Timothy, and even if he actually waits to the end of the lockdown, and it really does take him 3 days to get here, I should probably start getting ready for him.
Day 96 of 100.
Hello there. Anyone there?
Hello there, you're back. I am here.
Are you the person I was talking to yesterday?
Yes.
I know you said you were told not to tell anybody anything, but can I ask, are your names Robert, Peter, and Timothy? Okay. Can I ask if everybody's okay? Got it. Can I ask a favor?
Sure.
The son of a friend of mine might be in your shelter. Is there a Timothy Bergman that you can tell him his father told me that it's okay and not to worry?
Got it.
Is he there? Is he okay?
No, I can't tell you anything until the end of the lockdown. I never asked, are you still the same person? Still Paul?
Yes, there's just one of me. Everything okay on your end?
No change. 6 more days before we can crack open the door.
I get it. Same here. My generator is getting low on fuel and I'm using batteries, so I will keep this short. I may be offline for a bit. If I do not contact you for a few days or do not respond when you send a message, do not worry. I will contact you next day when back up. 6 days left, then we can get out.
No problem. Speak in a few days. Guess that means he's on his way.
Day 98 of 100.
Tim? Tim? Anyone here? Where is everyone? I knew he wasn't supposed to leave until I got here. Who's there? Who's out there? Who are you? Who are you? Let me out!
My name's Bob.
Bob Burrows?
Sam.
Okay. Thank God. Where is Timothy? Timothy Bergman. I'm his dad.
Timothy Z. And how about the switch? Sorry about your wife.
I see.
Timothy's in the kitchen.
What do you mean?
He's dead. He's in the fridge. He's the bigger one.
You're lying. You're a liar like your father.
Go see for yourself.
What happened?
Killed Peter. Tried to kill me.
So you killed him.
Didn't plan on it. It was an accident. I cleaned him up and wrapped him as best I could. More than you did for Timothy Bergman. We found him out here, under a bush, half-eaten.
I make no excuses for taking care of my family. At least he died quickly. Melanie lingered on in pain for months.
Yeah, you could stop with the self-righteous posturing. You would have killed me too if you had the opportunity. Otherwise, why show up with a gun? Why pretend the lockdown is 2 days longer than it is, or that you're 3 days drive away? If it wasn't just to keep us inside and catch us unprepared.
If I had to kill you, yes, I would. It would have depended on how you and my son had gotten along the past 3 months. Just like you're going to kill me, except you don't have the guts to do it directly. You'll just let me starve, right?
Actually, no. I needed to lock you up just to protect myself, but left you some food supplies. It's enough to last you quite a while if you go easy. You have power, left you the radio and the computer. There must be other people out there, so you can call for help. In a few weeks, if I find a safe place, I might send someone your way to let you out. It's only if I can find a place where you won't be able to come after me. In the meantime, you're locked up, but safe.
Thanks.
I have to go now.
Hey, you can't just leave me. Where are you going?
Don't know yet. Depends on what's left out there.
Don't leave me here.
You know, before you go on and on about how evil my family is, you should take a look in the mirror. Timothy tried to kill me, and managed to kill Peter. Peter's just a kid and innocent, missed his mom, didn't hate anybody. You, Timothy, didn't give a second thought to killing him. So you can get off your high horse. Gotta go now. Sorry.
Don't leave me. Don't leave me! bastard!